Last night on my Cringe Factory livestream, I mentioned how I felt Episode 3 for HBO Max's Last of Us adaptation was purposefully manipulating people's emotions with the storytelling, and to be honest, I kinda feel validated at this point. Hello, this is Mara Jade, and I'm back with another video, and you had the director of said Episode 3 coming out and admitting he wanted to trick audiences into watching a gay love story. So yes, I know this is a rhetorical question, but what in the ever-loving fuck does that have to do with a zombie apocalypse? Nothing that Agenda pretty much can't fix. People who played the game know these characters, and when I say characters, I mean Bill and Frank. They are the primary focus for Episode 3. They know the characters, and they can put the pieces of the puzzle together and figure out that, yes, they were in a relationship. But then people watching this series, watching this episode in particular, and then going back and playing the game, are going to realize that the characters in the series are a complete 180 from the characters in the game. Hence, purposeful emotional manipulation. Purely agenda fucking driven. But at any rate, let's just dive right into this article so we can get a gauge of what the director's intentions to trick the audience were. So without further ado, here it is. The Last of Us director Peter Hoare said he wanted to trick his audience into watching a gay love story in an episode of HBO Max's new apocalyptic drama. Hoare, who is gay and is known for his work on the British LGBT+ miniseries It's a Sin, said that he wanted the viewers to see that it was the same love as straight people, but just between two guys, Independent UK reported. First off, no fucking shit. Secondly, again, complete fucking 180 from the characters in the game. Sometimes you have to sort of trick the rest of the world into watching these things before they're like, oh my god, it was two guys? I just realized, Hoare told Inverse magazine ahead of the release of the zombie series' third episode. Again, no shit. And two, you're not breaking any new ground here, Peter. You're not breaking any glass ceiling at this point. Other IPs, whether it be TV or movies, have done it, and done it better than you did. More organically, with better storytelling, in my opinion. Done it much fucking better than you did. You pretty much, that story in Episode 3, in my opinion, was middling at best. It felt like I was watching a Hallmark movie plastered right in the middle of a fucking zombie apocalypse drama. That's what it felt like to me. It was pointless fucking filler. 50 minutes of a flashback that goes absolutely nowhere. Via the storytelling and story progression. Nothing. Pure manipulation. That's it. Really, just that's it. With what they did with the characters. I think then they might understand that it's all real he added. It's just the same love. Again, rhetorical question, but why should that fucking matter? Why should that fucking matter in the slightest? In the first two episodes of the series adapted from the popular video game, the show focused on fighting zombies. However, the third one veered off course drastically with a self-contained romance between two surviving men, Bill and Frank, who hadn't been infected with the virus. Bill's not the same character as he was in the game, and Frank's not the same character as he was in the game. They completely altered the characters purely for pandering, identity politics, agenda, whatever you want to call it. That's what they did. That's what they fucking did for the episode. Reading through reviews on Rotten Tomatoes, the third episode didn't sit well with many who suggested skipping it, as most of the episode consisted of the romance between the two men. I suggested just skipping it, really, because it goes absolutely nowhere. You could skip the third episode, or at least skip most of it, to the last, 15 minutes or so, to where Joel gets Bill's truck. That's what moves the story forward. Pretty much. That's what makes the story progress. Nothing whatsoever to fucking do with Bill and Frank's characters in the flashback. Nothing. If episode 3 was about a heterosexual couple, fans would still be bored and disappointed, one person wrote. Yes, I agree with that. I was bored out of my mind. It had nothing whatsoever to do with the fact it was a gay romance. I know the characters, essentially. I know the characters. It had nothing to do with that. It was just plain fucking boring, and I could tell they were trying to pull the heartstrings. Most fans are watching for the adaptation of a video game about fighting zombies, not a full episode about romance. We all know why the episode is receiving high praise. Let's calm down. They didn't respect the existing story in the game with this episode 3. Terrible, another road. Yes, they didn't respect the existing story. This is not a faithful adaptation. Just because it's a bit more enjoyable than, say, Rings of Power or the Halo series or hell, Resident Evil on Netflix. Just because of it's more enjoyable than those 3. But look at how low that fucking bench is. That benchmark is. Look how fucking low that bar is. Doesn't mean this series is good, and they're not respecting the existing story. They're changing things needlessly so far, and they're just 3 episodes in. One shared, episode 3 was an hour of my life I will never get back. Just watch episodes 1 and 2 and wait until episode 4 comes out. I agree with that. And on Common Sense Media, a reviewer slammed the site for only showing reviews based on first early episodes. There is a sex scene between 2 men in episode 3 not mentioned anywhere, the person wrote. For new current series, there should be a weekly update from the review team. I wrote a similar review to the Terminal List series, and as of today, it is still not updated. Alright, whatever. So there it is. I agree with those reactions. Now, that's not to say that this show is still not receiving overly positive reviews. Go on Rotten Tomatoes, it's still sitting at above 90% in terms of both critics and audience ratings. I don't think it's as good as people make it out to be. It's not pretty much. But I'm going to call it out where I see it, pretty much. And episode 3 was middling at best. Purposeful manipulation of people's emotions. Very little, if any, progression in the storytelling, an overall story with Joel and Ellie, because that's what people are tuning in each week to see. Because those are the characters we're supposed to be following. Those are the characters we're supposed to be connecting with. Not fucking Bill and Frank. Not that Hallmark drama. Or anything like that. Which again, complete 180 from the characters in the game. But at any rate, what are your thoughts on this article down in the comments below? Do you agree with this article? Do you disagree with this article? Are you watching the series? Did you like episode 3? Did you not like episode 3? Are you liking the show so far? Or are you not liking the show so far? Are you on the fence where it's like, it's meh at best, middling, not as good as people make it out to be, but not horrible pretty much? Let me know all that fun stuff down in the comments below. I'll be live later on Twitch this evening. Roughly around 7:30 p.m. Eastern or so, my plan is to play Batman Arkham Asylum, finally. It's kept giving me error messages when I tried playing it the first time, so fingers crossed I get it working again. So, thank you all for watching this video. If you like it, like, share, subscribe, all that fun stuff. This is Mara Jade. Catch you on the dark side, and this is going to go over so well with incoming episodes, and we all know Abby and her golf club are coming. You just watch.